Hello. Hello, nerd. You're the nerd. Yo, welcome to the Too Stupid for a Podcast. I am Stefan or Steele. This is my beautiful co-host right here.
Wrong, and I'm tired as crap right now, dude.
Yes, we see that.
As you can all tell, there's no color to my face.
Yes, we are also twinning.
We are wearing what, the baseball tees?
Yes.
So.
But before we start, I don't know if you want to tell them why you're tired, but if you want, you can.
I'm tired because I didn't get any sleep at all this past weekend. No sleep at all.
Feels bad.
But it was a fun-filled weekend. Busy weekend, but fun-filled. So it's all worth it.
That's good. But yeah. Hopefully you feel better. We'll try to get this done quickly tonight, even though it's a pretty serious topic, I would say. Yeah. So today's topic is, hey, calm down, buddy. It's social media, and then we're gonna segue that into body image, and then finally end with self-love and how to perform self-love and stuff like that.
So I think a really quick question, I guess, for you or for us is like, how do you define social media?
So like, yeah, social media is this really weird concept that just recently came about. I want to say like what, 8-9 years ago.
Maybe.
With like a little bit further than that, I guess.
I mean, like,
yeah, what up, Nanner Man?
Like maybe like the mainstream social media was around that time, but then
yeah,
like, social media itself kind of started like early 2000s.
Yeah, but we wouldn't really. I mean, I wouldn't take it as the beginning of social media. Like, sure, it was like the start of what became social media, but it didn't really pop off until like MySpace took off, and then MySpace led into Facebook, and then all the bigger stuff, and then you can do other little niche stuff like Asian Town and all that. Let's not get into that.
And into like, what is it, to Twitter, to Facebook, and now to like
Instagram,
YouTube, and all of these crazy stuff. So yeah, I think social media, for my definition, would be like a platform where you can reach out to mass amounts of people,
like hundreds to thousands to like millions of people,
and even the tens. Like if you only have like 10 followers or like
like us.
That's true. That's true.
It's not a feels bad, dude. It's a aha. We're starting.
We are making it,
dude. You have to understand. This is episode 10, and if we have 10 followers, that means we got one follow every episode, and that's great, dude. That's a great start. Imagine when we get to episode 1,000. Okay, we could have 1,000 viewers. Come on.
I mean, if you think about it, not going to religion or to troll religion. Like Jesus Christ only had like 12 to begin with.
You're right.
Now he has like billions of people. I mean, we could be the next Jesus Christ. Just saying it. We aren't proud, but we could.
Yeah. I mean,
I think we just need to write a really good book.
But yeah, anyway, social media. So since we kind of defined what social media is, like, can you put it into context, like how it's used and stuff now, and the way you see what social media does?
I mean, a lot of things like goes into play. Like if you want to do like I think one really great social media platform that was amazing for such a great period of time was Vine. Like that, like 10-second video of you doing random stuff, then you can pop off, right? You can pop off, and that for me is basically social media because
Yeah.
you can share an idea or share a moment for like maybe like from like 10 seconds to like 3 minutes, and then it can like reach out to like I said to like tens to like the thousands, even to the billions of people. So I
Right.
mean, I guess it matters like what you're doing. Like you can do like like I said, like those 10-second clips of Vine, post up a really good song, or else like perform an original on YouTube, and hopefully it gets popped off, and then the next thing you know, you are on Ellen.
Yeah, and you go viral.
Yeah, and then I think that's like the help of social media because like you can like you can have like random people out of nowhere pop off, and then
Yeah,
once they
that's
pop
true.
off, and they go viral, then everyone knows who they are for like that, like maybe 10 seconds to like 3 minutes, and then next thing you know, like
They just fall off the face of the earth.
yeah, and then sometimes like they don't, so
Right?
sometimes they don't, and so it's like a matter of like how do you put how do you get whatever is great in you to
Yeah.
pop off.
And to keep it rolling, you know?
Yeah,
It's
because
like I've listened to and watched a bunch of videos about going viral and how to keep it going and stuff. And it's just
yeah,
being consistent. But that's like a whole nother story. But
I mean like, and also like a really a really interesting story. Like Joji, the singer Joji,
yeah,
he
yeah.
popped off because he created the Harlem Shake.
Yeah.
Where like it was like that, like where like goes and then
Because he was
like
Pink Man or whatever.
yeah, and then like he and his friends just like one day was like, oh, you know what? This Harlem Shake, when like the beat drops, like we all just randomly do like random dances,
Right?
and then he popped off on viral on that.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, he's a singer. He has what, like maybe a million plus followers on Spotify.
I mean, he didn't
Yeah,
want to take that character though, you know?
yeah,
But he still brought over some of his following from that
yeah,
character to his music, which is awesome, you know? To have
yeah.
loyal fans like that.
And then and like that's the thing where like you can do like a simple thing as like that Harlem Shake, like what Joji did, and then pop off, and then like you can kind of use that as a standing platform or a platform or a start
Yeah.
to kind of start whatever you want to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you don't use it correctly, you like you said, you could fall off the face of the earth, and like
Yeah.
nobody knows who you are.
The way
Like kind
he
of.
the way he used that as like a segue really helped him, you know?
Yeah,
Because if he started from scratch again, his music probably wouldn't have popped off.
yeah,
But because he already had a following and he had people that were loyal to his previous brand, they
yeah,
just stuck with him. And I'm not saying his music was shit in the beginning. His music has always been really good.
yeah,
And like he's just developed into a better artist now,
yeah.
you know? So of course he's going to end up popping off.
And then that goes with Rich Brian as well too. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that like like it's only like singers and order that can like pop off viral and then maintain like you can see other the people as well too. Like obviously I can't name them off on the top of my head,
Yeah.
like but then you know what I mean, like there is those people that pop off viral and then just stay consistently and still be on top of the list, like
Yeah.
or like a really good one is that YouTuber, the what's his name?
PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like he popped off on YouTube by playing Minecraft,
Yeah.
and then
And then,
and then just kept on doing playing games,
yeah.
and it just stayed.
Yeah, because he kept making weird videos. That's why, like
Yeah.
weird gaming videos where he was just really funny and like just naturally who he was.
Mhm.
So it just felt natural for him to end up popping off.
Yeah.
But
So
now that he's made so much money and stuff, and his stuff has gotten demonetized because
yeah.
of the things that he's done in like
Yeah.
the recent past, like the last 3 years, he has started to slope down.
But then
I'm
like
not sure if he's still number one, but I know he's still super high up.
but then you know what I mean though? Like he is still in like at least the top 50.
No,
You know?
he's like still top five, but
Yeah, yeah, I know, I know. Like that's the thing. Like I don't know these stats.
yeah,
You know what I mean? But then like he's still up there.
yeah, for
You
sure.
know?
But yeah, like you said, it wasn't that he just randomly went viral one day. It's that
Yeah,
he
but
was slowly building, and then when he
yeah,
finally went viral, it just
yeah. It
skyrocketed
it
everything.
like popped off. So
Yeah, and that's the key. That's a thing from like the videos that I've watched
mhm.
about that kind of stuff. It's the consistency and the grind,
Yeah,
and just even though you start at a really shitty point, everyone starts at zero,
yeah.
and you slowly just until that one day something you
Pop.
do just pops off, and then then the rest is history.
I mean, like, what if we keep on doing this podcast and one day, like, oh, like, what is it? Like, something popped off, and then it's just like, boom, you and I go by for being trolls.
All right,
Yeah.
like one day Mr. Beast just comes into the podcast and drops a 50K donation. Just oh.
Or else, no, what? I think I wouldn't mind having Marshawn just joining into this podcast.
I know, even though we talk about nonsense.
Yeah.
But
But then,
that
like,
man is a legend, so he'd probably talk about
yeah,
nonsense with us. So
as well. But yeah, so yeah, that's what I think about about social media. It's it's one thing to pop off on like viral, and it's
yeah,
also one thing to kind of like display your skills. That,
yeah.
that's that's what I think.
There's a lot of sports highlights and stuff, and
Mhm.
even video games and stuff. And like I don't know, there's so much things you can do, especially with like Facebook and Instagram, and especially YouTube. YouTube, you
Yeah,
can do like anything, like literally anything.
and then hopefully you are on that trending,
Right?
the like trending page. Like, oh, I was on the trending page. You
Yeah.
know.
Like if you're lucky and you're like, what's his face? That dude that made the Baby Shark remix, dude, he popped
Oh
off.
yeah, he popped off. Did you know that they are actually starting to do play Baby Shark in clubs?
Yeah, cause it's popping, dude. If you remix Baby Shark, dude, it's lit.
You know what? One song that I wouldn't mind remixing.
What?
Mary had a little lamb.
What? Okay.
I don't know when the beat is gonna drop, but Mary had it. It wouldn't be bad. Well, it's like Twinkle Twinkle Little Stars. And bring out some Mozart and the boom boom
Oof.
boom beats, and then the beat drops. Just like, ooh, damn, these guys are nuts. You're like, I fall due to sleep because of I play Mary Had a Little Lamb at the clubs.
GG. All right. So, all right, we're gonna move like try to segue into the other stuff. But so, what do you think about social media and how it can be used to, you know, put these happy moments from our lives onto Facebook or onto Instagram and stuff, where people only see these highlights and they don't really see like the dark side of every day, the grind and the bad shit that happens. I
I
mean,
think Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like people also, it's either they put something that's really really exciting and happy, that's happening in their life, like oh someone's getting married, someone got engaged, oh this new girlfriend or new baby, new car, all this, like going on vacation and stuff, or else it's like that super sad shit, like oh I just broke up, oh like someone just passed away, oh my
Yeah.
family member's really sick and stuff.
Mm.
It's like this weird fluctuation of happiness and sadness and stuff like that. What do you
I
think about
think
that?
I think this kind of goes with what is it? Your vlog about negativity as well.
Itsy bitsy spider.
Um,
Yeah.
and then going off of that, it's just like because like nobody nobody wants to see like a person who posts all about sad things on Facebook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like like nobody wants to see like oh like so and so posts up like whatever like the depressionist quote. I don't know if that's a word or not. Like, but then like you know what I mean to like put it that into context. Like, oh
Yeah.
well, this person's suffering so much. Like I get that. Like, it is part of life. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I feel like I would rather have friends who posts up on the grind and posts up all about the bad stuff and also the good stuff. I'm not saying that I'm like discriminative or discriminatory or discriminate those happy moments and bad moments.
Yeah.
Like that's what life is. Sometimes like you will break up with a person, or sometimes person gets sick, and then and that's why like they have like those GoFundMe pages and stuff. So like you can actually support like um what what is it during my run in 2015, right?
Yeah.
So if none of y'all know, during my run in 2015, I like did a run across the country. It was for the Almond Cancer Fund, right? So at first, like I didn't know anybody who had cancer around me, and I'm very fortunate to to not have known anybody who had cancer. But
Yeah.
then I was able to share my um my fundraising page to my Facebook friends, and a lot of people donated for it too as well. And like that for me, it was a sign of relief, and also it was a sign that like people do still care about others out there as well too.
Yeah.
And then in the past couple of years, I went from knowing zero people having cancer to like three or four people who had cancer, and then when like they had those GoFundMe pages, I try to do as much as I can.
Yeah.
I like do that donation. I try to donate as much as I can. And then
Yeah.
for
And even just
me,
help and share and,
yeah, yeah,
spread the
help
awareness of
share
it.
and like do all of these stuff so like it gets like spread out, because then like not everybody's gonna have like, oh, I'm in vacation in Hawaii, oh, I'm vacation in Bali, oh, like you know um this is my wedding, like not everyone's gonna have those happy days.
Yeah.
But then it's and but then they also but then there's also like there's gonna be dark days ahead, or there is gonna be those dark days where like, oh, I'm feeling kind of bad or crappy because of this or that, and then
Yeah.
and then and then it also helps out because then like like sometimes like there are people who is out there who actually cares, who actually be like, you know what, like what's wrong, like maybe I'll like send you a quick text or send you a quick message, but like, hey, what's going on, what's wrong, you know
Yeah.
so I mean, as bad as I as bad as it is, like there's still people out there who actually cares for each other, and I think sometimes social media helps out.
Yeah.
So,
It goes a long way,
mhm.
because it can, I don't even know where my train of thought just went, but it's like when you post something that's kind of dark and someone comes by, and even if they just leave a comment like, "Are you okay?" That's
Mhm.
just that little bit that could, go a long way.
Yeah.
Maybe it stopped that person from, killing themselves that day or hurting themselves. It's like anything could push them to the limit or like bring them back.
Yeah.
And then, especially for like those happy things, you just have to understand that yes, this person is having a great time, but for you consuming their content, it's like
Yeah.
you have to understand that you too are working hard and they must have worked hard for their time of happiness. So
Mhm.
don't worry about what you're doing and just focus on understanding that you're still working hard and you're gonna do something great one day too, whether
Yeah.
it be like going on vacation to where the hell they went or going on a different kind of vacation,
Yeah. Mhm.
or even
Yeah.
just having that day off.
Yeah. And then I totally like just like sometimes like you just like I get that there is some jealousy involved, especially when you see like your friends go on vacation and you're like, oh, when am I going to go on my vacation? You know?
Yeah.
But then like it's just all about that grind. It's like, oh, you know what, like this person would, like probably grind a lot to be able to afford to go on vacation,
Yeah.
you know. So then just like take a step back and just grind it out, you know. And like kind of like what you said in like the first part, it's like when somebody posts up like some dark stuff, like reach out with a hand, just like, hey, are you okay?
Yeah.
Is like everything going all right? Because like sometimes like it it gets real dark real fast, like especially on social media,
Yeah.
because then like people will troll you. People will troll you online. Like, don't get me wrong, people will troll you. Like, I'm a troll too, but then I'm like a troll who kind of knows the line,
The limit, yeah.
And I mean, like, I won't do like, oh, go and kill yourself. You are stupid. Like, I don't do that because I feel like that's way across the line. That's way across the line. So I mean, like, yeah, like just reach out. Be like, yo, what's wrong? What's happening? Like just reach out. Because then, like, kind of like you said, you know, like saying like being positive about it or like reaching out could like bring somebody back from that dark place. And sometimes like if you say it in a joking manner, like that may be like the straw that breaks the camel's back, and then that person may hurt himself.
Yeah.
And then it'd be like, oh, I did this. I said this. I thought he took it as a joke. I didn't mean, and then it gets to the like moral and ethical issue, and it's just like, you know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So
It's
I get
always
that
a weird
you and I,
position.
I get that you and I share or take each other in dark humors
Yeah.
on Facebook. I mean, like memes, but then like we don't meet anybody. It's
Yeah.
it's just our humor.
Yeah. Because we both understand, we share that context. So,
Yeah,
and it's just weird if we come out of the context to try to share someone, like pull someone else into it, because they don't understand the stuff
like
beforehand that led up to
yeah,
this dark post or whatever that we take
yeah,
each other in.
yeah.
But yeah.
Like it's like dark humor about like somebody kill themselves or like or like something. But then it's a troll joke because it's like
Yeah. Like we both understand that doing that stuff is horrible.
yeah.
But at the same time, we know each other well enough that we can joke about it between us and make it, something that we can share together. That's
And
both
also
funny and both serious at the same time.
both troll.
Yes.
So
And out of context, other people would see us as like dickheads.
yeah,
So,
definitely.
but what do you think about how social media can skew how we see ourselves or perceive ourselves? Like,
I think.
if we go into
Mhm.
body image and stuff, how does it
Yeah,
skew how we look at ourselves?
I think there's a lot of things portray, or like because of social media, and this goes along with magazine as well. Is that like we see like the perfect girl to have like great body image, and also to men as well, to like to have great abs, to have like a great chest, have like bulging biceps. But not everyone's gonna
Yeah.
look like that. You know what I mean? Not everyone is gonna look like that. And then for a person who doesn't have self confidence, or who's wary of their self body, or the body image, it like really hurts, because then like you see it a lot on like online, and maybe you get sad, and then you think like, why can't I be like this person, or why can't I be like that person? But then like it also be like, like sometimes like there's like there is always gonna be somebody for you. Like, don't think that you're gonna be forever alone. So yeah, I am probably gonna get hit with like troll jokes, aren't I?
Let's hope not. But yeah, I think social media has both positive and negative effects when it comes to body image,
Yeah,
because the creation of the internet and the way it ended up going, it spread a lot of ideas, like
mm,
a lot of ideas very, very fast. And it's
yeah,
both good and bad because,
mm,
for one, you could spread information extremely fast, but you could spread the wrong information, or like something
yeah,
that
fact.
ends up, what is it, creating like a
Hashtag fake
negative,
news.
yeah, or creating like a negative tone in society. Like,
Yeah,
for one, if we're talking about body image, we see that, most advertisings and stuff have a certain, for females it's always a certain kind of body, like that,
yeah,
that hourglass shape, and then
mm,
big boobs, big butt, like small waist or whatever, and like big hips, and then like blonde hair, blue eyed, stuff like that, because that's what the dominant culture is. It's white
yeah,
culture. And for men, it's like what you said, the washboard abs, big arms, you know, like that triangle shape. It's like,
body.
yeah, and it just makes you feel
Like you
like
have
you're,
to.
yeah, like you're not worth it because you're not up to that standard.
Yeah,
And since, both of us are Asian, we can't even fit in that stereotype, because that stereotype is already white and we're not white.
and also like the height is like, oh, you must be like
Yeah,
5,
or like
and
6 foot, dude.
yeah, 6 foot. Like I like that may be my kids or my grandkids, but
Yeah,
I'm not.
I physically cannot be 6 foot. But
I mean, you could. I mean, you just need to do a lot of surgery.
I mean,
Just,
I don't got that kind of money.
you know what I mean? Just like I'm not gonna be paying like 100 to like get tall, like to get 6 feet.
Yeah,
It's kind of ridiculous.
but yeah, that's like the negative side of what the internet has done, or social media has done, especially social media in the
Yeah,
past, 7, 8, 9 years. It's been pretty bad. And I think
mm,
just recently, I want to say like maybe 4 years ago, they started to promote the other side, because,
yeah,
okay, Angel had a question about, do you think social media is doing better in promoting diverse bodies? And I think they are now, as of like 3, 4 years ago,
mm,
even though, like, those things such as like the Dove campaign, in which they were trying to promote like, bigger, healthier bodies and stuff like
yeah,
that, and just promoting how like everyone's body is different, so just learn to love yourself and acknowledge who you are, and you can't really
mm,
control certain things.
yeah,
And then like that freaking Gillette thing that came out this past year,
Yeah.
and like about masculinity and stuff like that, and people were like freaking out about that, dude. It's like social media and new wave of like advertising is trying their best to reverse some effects, but it's already kind of too late at the same time.
Well, I think, and also to add on, I think, well, like, well, it's not like trying to reverse it, but it's kind of adding on. But then,
Yeah,
like, there's just like, it's just like sometimes like people don't get that message. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Or like they take that message in a wrong way,
yeah.
and then they're just like, especially that Gillette. I like didn't see the commercial itself, but I've read up on it, and it was like, wait, so to be a man, like you gotta be like this and this and this, and not like do this, and it was just like, no, like to be a man, like you like some things you just got to do, like and like sometimes you don't have to do certain stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like to answer Angel's question, I think we are doing fairly well. Like as of now, as of recent,
Yeah.
like just like kind of like what you said, like the dad bod, like it popped off.
Yeah.
In like what 4 years ago, like the dad bod popped off. Like what? It's like we don't care about that six pack no more. We care about that dad bod,
Yeah,
and that,
like
and
not to
then
spoil anything, but how Endgame made Thor from buff to dad bod, like they're trying
wait,
to change
so
something.
yeah, so I'm guessing you have seen.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
not trying to spoil it for
For
anyone,
any,
but sorry if I spoiled it for anyone that hasn't watched Endgame. But yeah,
but then like that's one. Like just this past year, I think Victoria's Secret just sound like the first set of
plus size
girls.
models.
Yeah, for like kind of like regular size, not like and like in like full size or like large size. I don't know how to like
Okay, anything that is not their
not
normal,
super.
yeah,
Yeah,
is
that's
plus
super
size to them.
modern.
Yeah,
Yeah, so then like they sound like this whole set of like group
yeah,
to be like, you know what, you guys are gonna be like the face of like the Victoria's Secret, and
yeah,
then that took off. So I mean, like, yes, it's helping because like kind of like you said, like social media like helped out, like real fast, like like, and then they like push it into a positive image, like, hey, you know what, like maybe like nobody's gonna be like 6 feet with like with like six pack abs or 8 pack abs. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
nobody's gonna do that. Like
Like
nobody has the
it's
time.
rare, It's more
Like
difficult than you think.
nobody's gonna have that time. But I was like, nobody's gonna be like size zero with like I don't know, like maybe 34, 8, 1/3, or like whatever size boobs they have. Like no one's gonna have that. Like no one's gonna have that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's just more like, you know what, like let's make it more realistic. Let's make it more realistic. And I think, social media helped out. I mean, yes, it's a slower progress, but we are moving forward to kind of like making everyone realize that it's okay to be who you are,
yeah,
like for your body image, like. But then also that also kind of goes back into like, what do you consider yourself as healthy though? You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
There's so many intricate and so many things involved in this body image with social media that it's like, oh well, you can be a plus size, blah blah, blah because there's plus size models on Victoria Secret and stuff. But then like, but are you really healthy though?
yeah. There's like
You
a
know what?
certain extent in which you are overweight versus you are
Yeah,
healthy.
yeah,
So
and
that's
then
like another line in which is hard to cross, or like you go into a gray area. So that
yeah,
kind of is weird as well.
Like I mean, like I think social media could help out on to improve eating habits, you know.
Yes,
But
but
then that
that's a long journey to take from
yeah,
what has already been done. You know, like the
yeah,
damage.
like the fast food industry has done,
Yeah.
you know. So it's kind of like, or like maybe promote exercise. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like it's really tough now because then like now with the social media, kids just want to stay inside and just play on their phones or play
Play
on the
Fortnite.
computer, you know, and like get pwned. Who knows, right? But then like it's one of those things where like it's kind of like a tough line. It's like how do you promote, you know, how do you promote social media plus working out, or how do you promote social media and a healthy lifestyle now?
Yeah.
Because yeah, like yeah, we are progressing with body image, but how are we progressing with healthier lifestyle?
Yeah.
Another
Like that's a
question.
whole nother topic.
Yeah, and then that's another question on that that we as a generation and as people need to figure out on how to solve. Like Pokemon Go did it for a month. People were walking and catching the
Yeah.
Pokemon, but that's only for a month though. You know what I mean? So like, how
Yeah.
do that to make it in a full on fact that like, oh, you gotta walk.
All right. So to go back to the question, do you think social media has been doing better in promoting these diverse bodies?
Yeah, I think so. You know, with like, you know, kind of like how before before I went off on a tangent. Yeah, like these past couple of years, these past 4 to 5 years, like we as a society has kind of accepted diverse bodies
Yeah.
images like the dad bod, you know, like the plus size model and all these things. And then I mean there is gonna be still like that like standard thing where like what
Stigmatized like
yeah,
perfect body or whatever the
but
hell it
then
is.
but then, you know, I mean there is still always gonna be that, you know. And
Yeah.
then I mean as long as we are moving forward, like if we are already accepting, you know, the diverse body images, I mean the only way we can kind of keep on moving forward is like keep on doing that, like accept more, you know, accept more things, maybe like do more of those like body images per stuff, and then
Yeah, like those
hopefully
campaigns and stuff.
yeah, those campaigns, and hopefully one of them gets pops off, and hopefully it goes viral and it stays, become
Yeah.
consistent. But then, like I said, it also goes into effect that like how do you kind of convert that to a healthy lifestyle now?
Yeah. Cuz you have to figure out how to take what we as a society think of a body as beautiful and then also in turn bring in health into the picture
Yeah,
as well.
it's
But
kind of like don't get me wrong, like I am all for the dad bod, but then that doesn't mean that you should like drink every weekend
yeah.
and get the dad bod.
Yeah.
Or like you shouldn't like skip out going to the gym or whatever. Just because the dad bod is in session, that doesn't mean you can go all out on the buffet line every day.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean? Like
it's
like
that
there's a
line between moderation and, you know, extremism and stuff like that.
yeah. So then it's just like, so where do we put the line? Kind of tough, but where do we put this line?
Yeah. So for my answer to the question, it would be yes, social media and the internet has been doing a good job in like the last 4 to 5 years, as you said. But
Mm.
before that, the damage has already been done, and to undo all of that shit that has already been happening, like how we damaged a whole a whole generation's view on how they look and how they should feel and all these different things. Like our generation is pretty fucked, and the generation right after us, the Gen Y or whatever, they're pretty fucked.
Gen Z.
Is it
Gen like
whatever?
skip. Yeah, like skip.
Well, yeah, Gen Z, whatever, they're pretty fucked too. But
because technically we are Gen Y.
Or yeah, and slash millennial, because everyone wants to call us millennials. But yeah, I think what we have been doing in the past 4 to 5 years is a good start. But to undo all this damage and damage to the future, yeah, we have to ramp it up, like vamp it up super hard, and we have to do it consistently.
Yeah.
For a long period of time to read or to like not undo all this damage, but to make sure the future isn't as fucked up as it is now. You know.
So my question is, this is off topic and off tangent.
Yeah.
But what happens after Gen Z?
I don't know. AA.
Yeah, like do we go back to Gen double A and then kind of go?
I guess.
Because then that'd be really cool. Because then after like 4 generations, there'll be Gen double D's.
Oh my, Gen triple X, bro. Okay. Anyway, next question. So Angel had another question about body image. She said, or she asked, "Do you think girls struggle more with body image or guys, or is it equal?"
I think it matters the person.
Yeah.
I think it does. I mean, overall, I think girls do suffer a bit more. Just because of the fact that like everybody wants to look like Jessica Alba or like whatever, you know?
Yeah, Megan Fox.
Like, you know what I mean? It's much more.
Yeah.
Just because of the fact that like a lot of magazines and social media focus on the girl more than like the guy.
Yeah. And women are extremely hyper sexualized and stuff like that, especially in like advertising and movies.
Like, and then also it's one of those things where like there's no Victoria's Secret for guys.
I mean,
you know,
not that we know, not that is like extremely mainstream like that, you know.
Yeah, but then you know what I mean. There's no like kind of like what you mean, like there's no like hyper sexualized images of like girls, well, of guys versus girls, you know, like you see like what is it, summer's coming up soon, so you know what that means. There's gonna be a lot of images on social media of like of actresses at the beach wearing the bikini or like whatever, and then everyone's so like, oh my god, she is so great. Then but like they don't talk about like Chris Pratt with a dead bod at the beach.
Yeah, because it doesn't get that attention like how female bodies do.
Yeah, so that it's like kind of those things where it's kind of like, so
what is focused and what is not.
Yeah, so to kind of answer Angel's question, it's kind of like a twofold. Like one, it's kind of depending on that person. I mean, but overall, I do think that girls do have a tougher time to kind of 100%. Accept their body image. Like for me, I may be skinny, but I still want to be more skinny.
Yeah.
Why? Because
that's just how you feel about yourself.
Yeah, that's just how I feel about myself. Like, do I want to be like rip? No, I just want to be skinny.
Yeah.
Like, for me, that's fine.
So. Yeah, I think to answer the question, I think girls tend to struggle more with it externally because a lot of media and advertising and stuff like that is targeted towards women and how men view women. Mm-hmm. So it ends up being how women view each other and themselves and how men view women, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas men don't get targeted as bad and as often. And also, you have to take into consideration that more of the population of the world is women. It's like what, 52% or whatever.
Yeah.
So you would assume that women would struggle more with it, but men tend to internalize these things, not trying to make it
Be
a
more
bad thing.
masculine.
Yeah, because you have to, as a man, be a certain thing. You have to be strong, muscle. I pick things up. I put shit down. But
I fix cars.
yeah, and it's not as focused as how women's bodies are.
Yeah.
Like what we said before, like that hourglass shape, big boobs, big butt, small waist, stuff like that.
Mm.
And it's just the way shit has been done. Like, last 100 years where everything just ended up sexualizing like horribly towards women.
Yeah. And
So,
then that's and with that, like woman gets body shamed more than men does.
yeah.
Like if you see an actress out on the beach, like showing some fat, like the media attacks that
Yeah.
more than a guy or an actor being fat.
Yeah. And then even the opposite, like if she's too skinny, they're like, "Oh, she's not eating enough. She's anorexic." And like,
Yeah.
so women just end up
It's
having it a lot worse because it always gets focused on a lot more
yeah.
rather than how men do.
Like what is it like to you and also to reiterate right? Like the dad bod was more accepting
Yeah.
than like the plus size Victoria's Secret models were.
Yeah.
Like people were protesting Victoria's Secret
And it
was
wasn't just men, it was
yeah,
women attacking other women.
yeah. So it's just like, is this really kind of healthy? Like
Yeah.
it's
It
weird
was
because
extremely counterproductive.
yeah. So I think yeah. So kind of going back, like it's kind of like twofold for me for like that question. Like for your like for your like the self, it kind of is how you kind of view yourself. Because like if you're willing to accept who you are and love who like you are, then like yeah, like it's much more easier for you to accept your body image. But also at the same time, for a generalized question or a generalized population, women do get it worse. Like
Yeah.
it's just real bad for a woman with social media and body image. Like woman just gets body shame way more than men does.
Yep.
Like when like the dad and bod, like the reason why I keep on going back to the dad bod is that like people are making shirts about the dad bod, and then like nobody like complains about the dad bod, but then when a woman with plus size, not like it's 0 to like 2 waist, like they get like shamed all day long, and
Yeah.
it's just like okay, yeah. So it's really tough. So
Yeah. A lot of it doesn't really make sense,
yeah,
honestly.
like and then I mean I can get a bit parallelical on this topic, but I won't. So it's just really tough.
Yeah. And again,
So
this whole thing it ties into or goes into another
yeah,
topic of the way our psychology is
yeah,
worked and like how it works, especially for the difference between how men and women, how their psychology is totally wired differently, especially because of what society has already done.
mhm.
So that's a whole other topic that we
may cover.
in a future episode. But
Not strict though. Probably
yeah.
not.
All right. So there's another question that Angel had. Why does social media promote loving yourself, but also these ideal bodies? So this is kind of going segueing into our next part.
Okay.
So
So
what do you think?
kind of going off with that. I think it went it went off just because with the self love, loving yourself. It popped off because of cyberbullying. Like you can't tie that into it. I mean, it's not a major piece to it, but it's also a like there's so many counterparts or how so many parts to it that adds up to the self love. But yet we still have these like body image that like we that the media wants us to live up to. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like love yourself, love who you are, but also try to look like this person. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like kind of like it's frowned upon. It's like what is it like that Hangover movie, right?
Yeah.
When they were on the plane or like whatever. It's like masturbating isn't legal. It's just frowned upon. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things. It's like you should love yourself, but you should also look like this person.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I answered the question.
I think we're in a time in which society is trying their best to, you know, become more positive and inclusive of different body types and such. But there is still, like, to answer the question, there is still this ideal body that has been set in stone throughout society, throughout, the last 30, 40 years. And people are still trying to, live up to that expectation for some reason because that's just something that we idolized, and which is really strange since before that, especially
In the
between, yeah,
in
and like
the 30s.
between the turn of the century, being fat was the norm, because it's a sign of you're rich, you have money, you can eat extravagant food and stuff like that. And then just one day it just flipped around and you're like, "Oh, I think it's because of like the access to food and unhealthy food and stuff like that that flipped it around on its back." And now being rich is being able to afford all the healthy food and all the organic food that can keep you healthy. Whereas being fat is you're you have access to processed food because that's all you can
Yeah.
afford. So, and that's a
Um,
whole nother topic that
yeah. I mean, like and also to add on to that tangent, right?
yeah.
And I mean, like historically, like in like the 30s to like 60s, like that body image of a woman at the beach isn't like that slim hourglass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was more of a meaty. I wouldn't say meaty. I don't know
But
how
like,
like a regular size star.
but what is regular?
It, what is what is regular like now like Victoria's Secret?
Yeah.
My, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's not like
Yeah.
0 to like 2 size or
Yeah.
like whatever, right? Like it's just like it's just like a normal human being,
Yeah.
like with like yeah, like they don't like yeah, like they still have that perfect face or whatever, but then the body itself is it's like it is still achievable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's quote
Uh,
unquote healthy.
yeah. Wow. And then like after like what maybe the 80s, you know, maybe after the 80s, early 80s, where we where like the media started to like sexualize women
Yeah.
to be like this skinny, tiny person or whatever, and then it's just really tough. I mean, like, to kind of add on, or like to add on more, kind of like what you said, like earlier in like the 1900s, like to be fat means to be like rich.
Yeah.
And you can afford food because
Yeah.
food was so
It was more
hard to
scarce.
find.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's just like food is everywhere. You go around the block, there's McDonald's or a
Yeah.
Burger King.
The
You know?
industrialization of food and
Oh,
consumption of food is just crazy, and it changed
yeah.
the landscape.
And then like it's just like, oh, maybe being fat isn't good looking. And
Yeah.
then they just went to like, oh, let's be like skinny, and just
Yeah.
it's really tough.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of factors.
And that's just a topic in which we are not trying to discuss today. All right. So
Maybe next week.
going back to like the dad bod stuff. Angel had a question that
Yeah.
she asked in the chat. She said, "So about the dad bod, why are girls still shamed after pregnancy for having saggy bodies? Then is it because it's a mom bod? But it's a mom bod though. Like, what's the difference between having a dad bod and having that post pregnancy mom bod?"
I think one thing is that one thing I think it's more. I feel like the media is more accepting of the dad bod than mom bod.
Yeah.
That is just my point, or like my viewpoint on it. It's just that like is it? I feel like the mom bod,
Is it because
after.
it's a female body?
Well, I mean that, but then also it's because like if you look at the actresses that did have kids, you
Yeah.
know, like after they did like some of them went back to like being really slim.
Yeah, because they have the money to
Yeah,
they can afford to have
to
someone
like to
watch
like
their kid while they go get back into shape and
or
shit
like
like
or like
that.
or like they had that diet, like really
Yeah.
good diet to like, get back in, you know. So like, so it's kind of like two folds. You can basically say like
Yeah.
one, like some can afford to go back to being their regular size or back to their size, right? And some they just can't. And I feel like sometimes the media doesn't accept the fact that like sometimes like you can't, like the majority of the people can't go back to their regular size before pregnancy, and then that's just not accepting. While for the dad bod, it's just more like, well, this person is drinking a lot, but this person is watching kids, and it's okay. But yeah,
Yeah. All right. I think we've
so I don't even know if I answered her question. So
I mean, I think it's because it's again, it's a female body, and
mhm.
for it to not be a certain standard is for it to be shamed.
Yeah,
Whereas after pregnancy, you don't get to see, those 2 3 months after that pregnancy, because especially with celebrities and stuff, they go into like a
fitness
hiding
stuff.
stage,
Yeah,
and then in which they have that 2 3 4 months to get back into shape, and then one day it's like, bam, oh damn, this person just had a kid like X amount of months ago, and look at them now, they're just fucking sexy and shit. It's like,
yeah,
because they have the financial means to get that, they have the time, and they have, again, financial means to have someone take care of their child while they have the time and money to go get back into shape. And because their career
like
demands
demand.
them
Yeah,
to have that. So it's not really fair to say like, oh, everyone should live up to this standard when we don't have that financial means to do so.
yeah,
And then Yeah, I think this can segue well into how we can perform self love
Mm-hmm.
within our own minds and within our own bodies. So, again, Angel had some questions. She said,
Mm-hmm.
do you think self love is a positive or negative action? Some say that self love is negative, as in it's just a coping mechanism for being ugly or lonely, keeping the pretty people up there while having some for us. We have to work twice as hard for people to love us because others are only doing half the work for the for the pretty people. So what do you think about this whole question? We'll break it down. So, do you
Yeah,
feel like self-love is positive or negative?
it's kind of both.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, like one, I mean, if you accept you or like yourself as who you are, then like and then it's positive because you are like accepting like I feel like that kind of like sets your self esteem to a certain point, because then you're like, well, I'll always be like this. Like I accepted the fact that I'm never gonna grow any taller than 5'4". So I'm just like, you know what? I'm stuck at 5'4", and I'm happy. But then it's also bad because I am at 5'4".
Yeah.
Like everyone like everyone who at them, and then for me it's kind of like, do I really want to be stuck at 5'4" for the rest of my life? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a pro and a con to it. But then like I feel like it's self love. It's kind of like how Angel kind of said, like with like that question. It's just like sometimes it is good, and sometimes bad because like I mean it's good because like you are kind of loving yourself, but it's also bad because like society would think that, oh, you love yourself because you are bad looking, you know
Yeah.
like you're accepting that you are bad looking, so I don't need to worry about you bad looking people, so it's kind of like twofold, I guess. So how about you? Is self-love a positive or a negative effect?
Um, I think it's like what you said. It's kind of both, in a sense, for like what you're describing, for those people that aren't good looking. It's
Yeah.
both positive and negative because it's like, oh, just end up loving yourself because then you can accept who you are and you
Hmm.
can raise yourself up within your own confidence and your own self actualization and realization to not only be a prettier version of yourself because your confidence is higher, but it's also like, haha, you're fucking ugly, you have to do these certain things to be fucking pretty.
Yeah.
Whereas the
Like,
the fucking beautiful people are like, ha, I don't have to do that shit because I'm already fucking beautiful and people already accept me for who I am. So fuck you.
but then like those beautiful, just this is a troll joke, warning, troll joke. But those beautiful people, they have some self-esteem issues as well too. Because then
Yeah.
like they kind of have to keep up with that like self-image. But like, oh, I have to be skinny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everyone is like basically like struggling.
But at the same time, you have to see like, I'm not trying to make it like, a fucking
Like
race. Like who has it
it's
worse.
a nah.
Yeah, it's not who has it worse. It's like, yeah, both parties have it bad, but if you do look at it at a certain angle, it really fucking sucks for ugly people. You know? Like
Does
if you're fucking butt ugly, you're not going to get shit done, okay? Like those beautiful people just have it easier off in life.
yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure there's been studies done that I've read before, but I just can't quote and like, I didn't have the time to look it up. But I'm pretty sure that they've done experiments in which they do the same fucking thing with a pretty person and an average or ugly looking fucking person, and they get different results.
I mean, like, even doing that, right? In like the 30s, no, not 30s, the 50s, right? During the 1950s, right?
Yeah.
During the civil rights movement, so like maybe the 60s. I lied. So I lied. So in like the 1960s, they like did this research, right? Where like they like had a black kid and a white kid, right?
Yeah.
They like show like the two dolls, like, oh, which one
Yeah.
I think prettier, right? And they always shows the white doll, and then like and then like they ask why, and even the black kid chose the black doll or like the white doll, and like they ask why. It's like, well, because I was told that having dark skin is bad.
Yeah, it's because it's taught. It's something taught.
So, like, I mean, I agree to your point. I mean, yeah, prettier people, more beautiful people, like they like, have it much more easier in society.
Yeah.
But they also have some self-esteem issues on the inside. They're hurting.
Yeah, because they still have to live to a fucking certain standard, and they have to keep living that certain standard if they already are. They have already achieved it.
And also, troll joke, they also have family issues. I'm just saying. Just saying. They always, a lot of beautiful people have family issues.
But anyway.
Definitely going out for that
one. Let's see.
So what's the second part of that question?
So I think I kind of answered it too with what I said before on how prettier people just fucking have it easier compared to ugly people, because the self-love part is targeted more towards the ugly people because they have to work twice as hard to build up their confidence to be like those pretty people, in which the pretty people just have to deal with their own self-esteem.
True. And then also to like add on to that point, it's like the not good looking people, they have to like accept who they are, and also they like have to still face a backlash of society as well.
Yeah, and being fucking ugly. That's just what it comes down to. It's like you have to accept yourself because you're always gonna be fucking ugly, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And then you still have to face like the backlash. It's like, oh shit, this place is ugly as hell. It's like kind of it's really rough. But then for like kind of like how you create like more beautiful people.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, oh, I just have to face myself.
Yeah.
Just gotta accept who I am. I should get a big bag.
Yeah. It's
and not just get chicken tenders.
Yeah, I think on paper and like in theory, self-love is supposed to be something positive, and it's supposed to be a way to accept who you fucking are and acknowledge that you have flaws and there is no such thing as perfection, because perfection would mean that you're fucking God, and you cannot be perfection, because if we're going into religion, if everyone is created in the image of God, then everyone is fucking perfection already, in which everyone's imperfections are perfections, so you're fucking a piece of shit no matter what. But
if we are created by the image of God, just saying, God must be fucking ugly.
Oh shit. Dude, why? Okay, going on a tangent. Why do you think in South Park he's just like this weird blob?
Yeah, I know, right? Cause then he's like ugly, dude. Like if we are
or whatever. If it's a boy or a girl, whatever. Yeah, dude, you're fucked up. You're fucked up. You're going to hell. Okay, anyway, but yeah, what self-love is on paper and in theory is something positive.
Kind of like on paper, in theory, it should be good, but in reality.
Okay, in practice, it's fucked up, but on paper and in theory, it's supposed to be something that fucking works as long as everyone is doing their job correctly.
Yeah, it's kind of like self love, and
Yes.
it's, well, we can say that self love equals communism on paper,
But
in
yes,
practice, it doesn't work that way.
yeah. In
Nobody
practice,
wants to
it
get.
should work perfectly fine. It's just the way people end up skewing the view of what self love is. Kind of
But
fucks
then,
up the whole concept of what it is. So it,
but then, like that kind of throws into like the human nature piece.
yeah,
As well as be like, oh well, human nature is kind of crazy. Like
humans are
y'all,
just pieces of shit.
and if we are created by the image of God, God is kind of POS.
I mean, bring Thanos and just see ya.
Do a snap. You know what? Like if I had the Infinity Gauntlet,
Yeah.
I would snap so many times. I would snap as many times as Michael Jackson snap and beat it.
Oh my. Chill.
Like beat it, just like saw snapping,
Oh my god. Chill, bro.
and then be like, finally some silence. Goodness gracious.
But yeah. Okay, to get more serious again about self love, the practice of it should be positive, and it does reinforce a lot of positive things, especially in your own mind and how you view yourself. Um, but just the way society ends up negatively skewing it just makes self love look like a piece of shit practice, like communism and stuff like that.
Don't talk about that about communism. Mother Rucker would be sad.
um, yeah, I think self love in practice, if you don't take into consideration what society views of it, is something beautiful,
Yeah.
because you end up realizing that you are worth more than what other people think of you.
Yeah.
And because at the end of the fucking day, your own perspective on yourself should really matter more than how someone else views how you are.
And also just to add more, it's just like at the end of the day, not like peace.
Yeah.
Like yeah, you have me, but then you're not like a piece of me, like regard it as a price or whatever. Like
Yeah.
a price varies on how you view yourself as, and like nobody can put a price on you.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. Hopefully that message went out well. Hopefully nobody took that message downward. It was supposed to be a positive message.
Yeah. Okay, to really fuck it up, would you sell yourself for $1,000,000 to someone? Just kidding. Just kidding. That's fucked
Who
up.
am I selling to?
Just
That's
kidding.
the real question.
It was a fake question. Fake question. But yeah, practice of self love is positive. It's supposed to affirm your own self image and make you self realize and self actualize your own worth to yourself and not how society views you. Okay, so
I feel
even
like
though Vong and I trolled a little bit and we were joking, the seriousness is still real. Okay.
yeah. Hopefully, of us joking, and not throw our true message.
Yeah. It doesn't ruin our ethos, you know. Going into rules of speech.
Rules
But
of
yeah.
speech.
Yeah. So if you do practice self-love, just understand that when you do, you have to push that thought of how society views things out of your mind and just realize it's you and how you accept yourself at the end of the day, because no one's gonna be in your head except for yourself, unless you let other people skew your views of yourself. Then that's kind of good luck by yourself.
And then you need to do yourself think for yourself sometimes.
Yeah, but it's really messed up how your own thoughts aren't even your own thoughts. It's just like a foundation in which was built on other people's perspectives and how you ended up perceiving yourself. which is really fucked up because that's a really shitty foundation to build your own thoughts on. So, but that's just how life is.
That's how life sometimes got to be.
Yeah, I think just being able to practice that, self love and understanding that you are pieces of other people, and regardless, at the end of the day, you are a piece of all these things that were pushed into you through education, through, just being aware of your surroundings and stuff like that.
So my question is, how would you practice?
There,
How
there's a lot of different things you can do. Like take care of your body. If you need sleep, like sleep. Sleep longer. If you need to take the fucking day off, take the fucking day off. Even though you're gonna fucking miss a paycheck, like part of your paycheck, it's like you can always make that money back. You still have time. You're still young. Shit like that. It's just being. It's just understanding that there is more to life than just money, and happiness should be the end game, whereas
end game?
yeah, got you. But whereas like money is just a means to which you can achieve happiness in a certain,
certain degree.
Yeah, because happiness shouldn't be tied to money, but happiness can be achieved easier if you have money.
True.
So that self-love thing is like I said, being able to, take the day off and just relax, or like you can meditate, you can do things you love like art, sports. You can, just sit in a dark room and listen to music, whatever excuse me, like do whatever the hell you want. If you want, you can self-love by, if you're sad, eat a fucking bucket of ice cream. I don't fucking know. Watch Netflix. Like hang out with the people you love, because it's just how you feel about yourself, and how other things are gonna affect how you feel about yourself at the end of the day.
I definitely second that. So
Yeah.
just do what you love. Like sometimes, like for me, when I have a crappy day, I just run, and for
Yeah.
me, that helps out to improve my own happiness. And even on my tiring day like today, like I ran 5 miles.
Damn, dude.
Like they give me more time, yeah, but I'm more
Yeah.
happy, more relaxed, and I'm just like, yeah, tonight's
Yeah.
gonna be a good night. Just gotta relax, stuff. So
It's just doing things that you enjoy, and
yeah,
spending time with people that you enjoy, and I
I
don't
don't
know,
enjoy
just
the company
yeah,
of others.
and just trying to relax as best you can, whatever means, or in which whatever means is necessary, or whatever the hell that saying goes. But yeah, that's I think that's a good way to end
Yeah,
our podcast for the day.
for the
Social
night.
media into body image, into how to self-love and what self-love is. So thank
Go
you
and
guys.
love people.
Yeah, dude.
Be
You too.
happy.
Go take a nap. Go take Zeus house. Go to bed. Talk to Jenny for a little bit. Go to bed.
So,
All right.
thank you all for coming back and chilling with us. To all the viewers, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you to my amazing fiance for always bringing up different questions, because Vaughn and I are too lazy.
we are not.
I'm sorry.
We are
But
not
yeah,
loving
thank
this
you.
podcast. That's what's going on.
I think we're just way more into just winging it rather than trying to set it up, because this is who we are. But at the same time, it's very unprofessional. Even though this podcast isn't professional at all, like we're freaking doing a podcast within our rooms.
I mean, like it'd be better if we were actually kind of like
closer in
seeing
proximity.
each other. Yeah,
Yeah,
seeing
yeah, yeah,
each other. Because then that way I can kind of like, you know. But then
yeah.
since we are doing this through um, webcams and stuff,
Yeah. It's a little different.
hey, how
Yeah,
you do? So,
but yeah, thank you to the viewers and thank
mhm.
you to the awesome people that always come back and share the stuff on Facebook and share it on Discord. I don't even know if anyone shares it on Discord, but if you see it on Discord and stuff like that, thank you guys. We love doing this because you guys end up listening, and also because we love talking to each other because we're
And
just homies.
also we love giving each other random questions,
Yeah,
well
yeah.
too.
And it's
Like,
just it's nice to spread
mm,
knowledge and positivity the best we can, even though we dick
so
around a
love
lot.
too.
Yeah,
So love too. Like I may not look like it.
yeah.
I hate people, but I I love them as well. It is a love hate
Yeah.
relationship right now with people. Like I love Stefan, but Angel, oh, I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
Damn, dude. Okay. Yeah. You guys all have a good night. Vong, have a good night.
Yeah, me too. I will see you guys back next week. Hopefully.
Angel said, "What the fuck?"
It's because you stopped
Trolling.
taking. It's because you stopped
Trolling.
taking me in memes and you started taking her instead. I'm just a bit jealous. I need, I am. I need to do more stuff like. That's all.
Trolling. Trolling, by the way. Okay. All right. Everyone have a good night.
Have a good
See you
night.
next week.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see you guys next week. We don't even have a topic, so
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. If you guys have a topic, please drop it in the Discord for us to like ponder over. Or if you're on Facebook and you follow the page, please drop it in like either
okay.
either a post or just message me on the Facebook page. But yeah, thank you guys. All right, see you next week. Peace.
Peace.